Murph getting paid. Welcome to the Murph Mitise Show.
You ready? Let's go.
Since I've returned from the States, I've been on I've mentioned to you, I've been on a whole new level of just vibing with things. And I've been taking a lot more notes lately, in my phone, in my notebook. I always carry around a notebook with me, sometimes two. Have I shown you my notebook?
Yeah, it's a mess.
No, the new one?
No.
The black one?
No.
Do you want me to show the black one?
Sure.
I've got it here. Hang on, let me just get it out. Hold up.
I've seen Josh carries notebooks around and there's just like paper everywhere and I think he just writes random stuff all over the place.
Literally.
I've never read through it, but that's just what I imagine.
It's all over the shop. And like I quite often I'll be at home and I'll flick through it and tie up loose ends.
Yeah.
So this is my bag, trusty bag. This is my new note. I decided that I've gone through two of the Spirax yellow notebooks. Classics. I decided I thought I can become a bit more professional.
Big boy pants on.
Big boy pants on.
Yeah. I don't think. So we're looking for a new member of the Murph and Mitise show because Murph can no longer work with Mitise.
I know you weren't expecting that, were you?
I expect this nice leather-bound book with like one of those 12 things to open it up. I get goggle eyes.
Best part was the setup. Big boy pants. So look,
Wow.
I think I'm crying.
Shock.
So I saw this in Kmart. It was actually like a journal. It came with a lock and a pen, right?
Yep.
I thought, you know what? I'm trying to get serious about this. You know what? It's not about what the book looks like. It's about what you put in it, right?
Oh, boom.
Okay.
Boom.
Take that quick. Now put my notepad back.
Jeez.
Okay. Anyway, so I've been writing a lot of notes. Okay, writing a lot of notes, and one of the notes that I wrote was I was listening to something. And I was like, you know what? When you were talking about training, okay, and then in particular, I wrote the note and I discussed it with one of my clients. Is that when we talk about training, if you do the basics and the fundamentals extremely well, if you do them excellent, it overtakes and is far greater benefit for that person or that athlete or yourself if it's for you than doing complexity crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I think too many people these days want to use the sexy exercises, because they look good on. I think we've spoken about this.
We have discussed this before.
Yeah, because they looks good on social media, and I think they have their place in the program at some point in time.
At a high level of
specificity.
At a high level of specificity and a high level of motor control.
Yeah, I mean these guys down here right now, the 36ers, right now the phase of training we're going through is so basic.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you would pretty much learn at PT school.
Yeah.
It's squatting, it's deadlifting, lunge, bend, push, pull, twist, gate.
Because you're just starting preseason.
We're week 3 preseason.
Week 3 preseason.
There's nothing sexy about what we do. The work experience assistant I've got, the strength and conditioning coach assistant I've got with me now.
Yes,
I don't think.
coach?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think he's very impressed with my programming so far.
Oh, really?
Because it's just...
Murph, you're basic.
You're basic. Because it's just...
Talk about it.
Now, I don't know this for sure.
Okay.
I haven't spoken, he hasn't said it to me directly. But it's nothing special.
Yeah.
Maybe the program design looks good where I've got, the 4 numbers for the tempo, the 4OXO or 411 or whatever. And some of that stuff might be new to him or not. But it's just do some squats, superset that with some pull-ups.
Yeah. Has he asked you questions about it? Because my mind just went.
He asked me questions on what I expect technique-wise.
Yeah.
And I show him the technique and I demonstrate the technique with him so he knows what I expect as a standard. He hasn't asked me why I give those exercises. I think I've told him, it's pre-season. I just want them to all understand what I expect from their technique. I want them to all to get used to lifting again. I want them to all just reintroduce them to basic lifts.
Yes.
So at least know they can do that.
Yep.
So when I do bring in the sexy stuff later, the more advanced, more specific, that I know that they're safe enough to be able to do that or bring in those multi-planes like a bend and a rotation because they can do the two separately. Like that big thing, isolation before integration.
Yeah.
It even applies to big compound movements.
Yeah.
If you can't bend, you definitely can't bend and rotate.
Exactly.
So I don't know how impressed or not impressed he is.
That's super interesting.
Knowing that, he just does deadlifts.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? A lot of when you receive a program, you can't just take a program at face value.
No.
Right? And so there's so much with this. You know, you can't take a program at face value. You have to understand the context behind everything. And this is kind of where the conversation with, it was Arja. I was discussing the fundamentals, doing the fundamentals. She goes, the fundamentals are well. I said, no. Do the fundamentals excellently.
Yeah.
And then that will give you 80% of where you need to go.
Yeah.
And I was discussing that with her in going, okay, cool. Well, for you or for this team or for another group of people, the context around what you're applying in regards to what is the training age, when are they training, what's the time of the season, where are the imbalances and issues, which is what we started talking about in like that personal, that group or whatnot, and how do you then account for that? Will then produce something which is that skeleton program.
Yeah.
You know, and so I can imagine from your assistant S&C coach's point of view, he's looked at that and just been going like, what is this shit?
Yeah, that's why I do that.
Well, I would look at it and be like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
I might even remember. Next week, it's just two new dudes just taking over. Just out, yeah. So it's very interesting when you talk about that stuff. So when you say you've run through stuff with him, what's his background again?
Sorry, Daniel, if I got the age wrong. 26 or 24. I don't remember one of those two.
Mid-20s. He's a young kid.
Still, I mean, he's been around the industry for a little while now. Yeah. He's done his PT course. He's an official personal trainer. Mm-hmm. He wants to become that next level, like we all do. You know, if you love the industry, you always want to level up.
Yep.
Always. If you don't love it, you get out.
This is our leveling up.
This is
sidestepping, and we're going to become.
We're now becoming moguls. So he wants to level up, and he wants to become an official, proper strength conditioning coach in professional sport.
Yep.
So he's come to me, Murph. So he did
basics.
Mr. Basics. For now. In the context of now, Mr. Basics. Let's talk again in 2 minutes.
Okay.
What was the question?
What are the questions he's asked you from what he's saying?
I guess it's.
I don't want to go on him through.
I guess it's why are we doing? What are you doing now?
Yep.
So I said, okay, basic lifting, introduction to training, all that sort of stuff. Why are you doing that? And as I said before, I want them to understand what basic lifting is.
Yeah.
I want to know personally that they're safe doing the basics because then they will be safe doing the more advanced.
Of course.
And then other than that, I just I've taught him about reps and sets and tempos and rep and everything else like that, all the variables in weight training.
Is that still in the PT course? Do you know?
It's been so long since I've done the PT course. It's 2005 I did that.
So I'm asking. I did it in 2007.
You'd have to think so, sure.
Because there's a little bit of that. I know there's programming in there. If you're a PT out there, just let us know, because we're not going to do the research on the PT course around whether reps, sets, tempos.
What I remember not being in there is anything about time under tension ranges for specific results. So 40, 70 seconds is hypertrophy.
Yeah.
I learned that stuff down the track from the big guys around the world. I don't remember that being in there, but I think basic push pull legs, 15 to 20 reps for beginners and so on.
And then do they go through the spectrum? What the spectrum is, like 1 to 3 is power. Sure, I'm pretty sure the guys do 1 to 3 is power, and then they go
surely something in there.
Anyway,
maybe not to the level that we're doing now, but I'm sure they go. Here's a rough
basics of that.
This is what you should get out of this.
Cool. So he has the fundamentals in that.
Yeah,
and
I think he's a little bit above that as well.
Okay.
So I want to give Dan credit. He is a very good personal trainer.
Fantastic.
So he's not like a basic level. He's a very good personal trainer, which is why I said, I would like to have you as the assistant for this season.
Yep.
So he's definitely not a basic level here. He knows what he's doing when he's programming stuff.
Cool. So what are the questions he's asked you when he's seen your program?
He hasn't actually seen me program anything yet.
Okay.
I've got on that at home.
Yep.
I like to be in my space.
In your zone.
Quiet.
In your space.
Sit there, laptop on my lap, and just tuck away, get in the zone.
Do you have headphones in? Do you listen to
No, but I need quiet.
Like absolute quiet.
Dead silence.
So if Steph walks in and you're like,
you got to leave. You got
Programming.
and she almost gets offended sometimes. Now I think now she realizes it. Well, actually, last night I was designing a program for this morning's workout, and I thought I'm going to spend some time with the wife. Good husband.
yeah.
And I sat down next to her. She was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Netflix.
Great.
Brilliant show.
Yep.
But it distracted the hell out of me.
Yep.
And I'm typing, and I look up, and I watch TV for like half an hour. And I type, and she's like, "You can't do two things at once, can you?" So I can't. I literally cannot focus on something creative and then watch something. It just confuses my head. I can't do it. So I got to get up, go to the study, nothing on, just dead silence. Have played around with one thing, white noise focus. Have you heard of that?
No.
So you just put on, you can YouTube it, just white noise or study music.
No,
and it's just rain or like a storm in the background.
What was the one that what I was going to say to you was, I want to say it's like Audibly or something like that.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, and so you go to the website, and you know what my one is? You know what I do? So not the storms and rain, like that's nice.
Yeah.
You know the train tracks with the rain, I like that one.
Yeah.
And you're just like at the sun. No, the one that I like to do my work to, if let's say I'm at home, it's completely silent, and I've got my headphones in, I'm listening to cafe noises.
Cafe, I see that in
cafe too. Just like and what I find myself doing is every time I tune into a bit of conversation. Like it's so weird. It's like I'm actually at a cafe. It's so weird, but I can just zone out and just do that because I think I'm very extroverted. I don't know if you realize this, but I feel I feel like I'm very extroverted, but I just don't like people. And so if I got my headphones in the cafe, no one's going to talk to me.
Yeah.
Right? But
they shouldn't be talking to me.
Well, they shouldn't be talking to me. It's weird. But then if I'm at home and there's no one around, I like people, but then I want to have the cafe noises in so I can then mentally block them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paradoxes everywhere.
I think the whole idea behind white noise is you can't have a consistent beat.
Yes.
So hip hop is horrible.
Terrible.
Any rock is horrible because it's always that same beat.
Yeah.
So I can't remember who taught me this sort of stuff, but
I've heard that.
Rain is great because it's all random, like you hear rain, a bit of thunder.
Yeah.
One thing I really enjoy listening to is the piano guys.
Yes.
So I put them on Spotify and I just have them in the background nice and low so you can just hear it.
Yeah.
And I can just sit there for ages and just design programs and write stuff.
So if we're in the gym and I put on the piano guys.
Yeah, I'd get to a zone.
Vibe to it?
Yeah.
What if we're in the gym? So what if we're in the gym and I put on train noises? Because that's repetitive.
I'd find that a bit weird.
I should do it just one night. Just one night. Everybody's in for like just an hour. Put it on. I'm in there and just pretend that it's like no music, just two people, and see what the response would be. Just watch people.
It's probably better than some of the other music that goes on in that studio.
It's not bad. Like 90% of the time, it's okay. I would say when we're in. Yeah, it's a bit of random stuff. Anyway, so the questions that are programming with what Daniel's been working, like does he look at what you're doing now and then know that okay, this is the basics?
I have told him. I said, look, so this is I've pretty much given him the periodization of the pre-season anyway, because the season I do change up. There's nothing in concrete there.
Yeah. The
pre-season I sort of have a concrete outline of what I want to follow. So he knows that the very first phase, which we've finished now as of today, is basic lifting. It's strength. So I get lower reps, strength hypertrophy. I pretty much we're in now. So lower mid-range reps, and it's all just basic movements. So he understands that. He also understands the next phase we're going a little bit more sport specific. So I'm bringing in more multi-plane exercises.
And are they all the majority of them, would they all be 3 week microcycles? Well, not microcycles, but cycles?
The first one's 3, and then everything from here on in probably around the 2 week mark. Depending on. So I've now started. So the first 3 weeks I don't do individual programs. It's a basic strength conditioning program, strength program where everyone to get through. Now all the individualization starts. Once you got that idea for what the boys like. What they're after, what coach wants from individuals as well as the team. So in the beginning of the season we have our individual meetings. So the players tell me this is what I want from your program. So I know
so you've got that idea
how
now.
to program.
In your first 3 weeks and in that base period, are you looking at the 3 planes of motion? Like you're looking at frontal plane work, and then you're gonna make that equivalent to 1-to-1 with sagittal plane, and then you're gonna make that 1-to-1 with the transverse, or you kind of go doesn't like it matters, but a little bit, and then we'll taper as we go through the season.
I've always got the 3 planes in mind.
Yep.
The 3 planes and the 6 patterns.
Yep.
Always in mind. Every program I do, even if maybe not all in one program,
So,
but
so
over
the 6 patterns being
push, pull, lunge, twist, squat. Push, pull, lunge, twist, squat, bend.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to throw a 7th, the gate.
Yeah.
But the 6 main patterns are those. So we got it right. Push, pull, lunge, bend, squat, twist,
rotate. Yeah.
rotate. So they're the 6 patterns. And
We
the
do
3
know
planes
our
of motion.
stuff.
We
We
do,
know our
I promise
stuff.
you. So whether it's over one day or so it's the week 1 started just 1 day program, whole body, get in there, do some work.
Yep.
Week 2 was a 2-day split.
Yep.
As it was week 3. So those 6 patterns of movements, as well as the 3 rotated, the 3 planes of movements, were covered over the 2 days.
Yeah.
They weren't all in the one program anymore.
Yeah.
And as will the rest of the pre-season and
Into
season,
season.
we'll cover all of them, but over the
week.
programs,
Yeah.
of the week.
I've been thinking a lot lately about weekly cycles. I think while I was away, it was good because I would think in, okay, this week and then that week, and I've got 4 weeks to think about things, right? But in regards to everything from calorific intake to sleep cycle to the training, and these are kind of the areas that I've been just listening to things and vibing on different things about, how would it work? Because I program usually on a like 5 to 6 day, depending upon when the girls are playing and games are played and that kind of stuff. But then overlaying we do weekly training cycles and then all fortnightly training cycles. But then overlaying that with, okay, well, why are we doing daily nutrient intake? Or why are we doing then daily sleep intake? Could it possibly? It's nothing scientific, nothing. Don't get me wrong.
So you're saying modify based on days?
Almost like based on okay, cool. So over the week, let's say your weekly calorific intake is 14,000 calories over the week, right? Your weekly training cycle is you've got peak periods Monday, or I would say maybe Monday, Thursday, your peak days, and then you've obviously sleeping enough, hopefully. Yeah, and you're getting your 56 hours of sleep in general, right? So going from a hormonal standpoint, let's just go based on hormonal and recovery standpoint. On the Mondays and the Thursdays, you're gonna need more rest and more food, all right?
Because you're putting in more effort.
Because you're putting more effort. But then how would that then go if you're going, all right, cool, but you don't want to be eating too much because obviously you also got to maintain players' weight. And you also got to watch for, you want to get the most out of power to weight ratios, you want to get the most out of strength to weight ratios and whatnot. So then the body can only respond to a certain amount of input.
Yep.
Right? So if you're getting over that input, you're either going to put more weight on or you're going to start whether that's muscle or body fat, or you go under that input and you're not going to put that weight on, you're going to go the other way. So I've been just thinking lately about all the research that's out and how we currently oversee our programming in regards to, all right, well, how would it go if I went on a weekly cycle, working with nutritionists or dietitians or whoever you're going to work with, and say, you know what, let's program a weekly cycle of eating and recovery. So the Mondays and Thursdays you might innately take more sleep, but then the other days you might not need as much sleep because you haven't done as much work, and so you can actually get more out of that.
Yep.
And this is.
Or would you do it the other way, where on a day off you try and get more sleep in?
On a day off, yeah. If
So
that
that's
follows
actually what I do with the guys.
You do it.
So on a Wednesday, I'll make them. So the Wednesday's a day off and Sunday's a day off. I'll say sleep in. I want you to get more sleep.
They're going to say, I made them sleep. And in my head, I just have an image of you at their houses.
Sleep.
Yeah, still sleeping. Still sleeping. It's
We're good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
That's how I would. So not on their harder days sleep more. On the days off, okay, now sleep more.
Exactly. So you're modifying the recovery cycles according to their training plan.
Yeah.
But then the way I was taking it is that, okay, cool, then the training plan's a weekly cycle. Is there benefit in then going, you need 56 hours of sleep over the week? Today you had 4 hours, therefore we want to try and get you to have more hours on the days you're not working as hard, or however that works out. It's just been something that's been like mulling around in my mind to play, especially the calorific intake. And this, I'm not going to talk about diets and go into that sort of shit at all, but just in regards to quantity of food in order to help recovery of the body, because the body is always in flux. So you're always going through periods of rest and recovery, stress and activation, degeneration, breakdown, and then repair. You know what I mean? So in regards to, you're going to have peak periods of restoration. Then after that, you're going to have peak periods of breakdown. So, just something I've been relying on that. I'm thinking about trying it with some athletes who are very, aware of their nutritional intake.
Yeah. And not a lot are they?
No. So what we might do, we'll have a quick timer break, so just a timer break, and we'll come out and we'll talk about that, because I think we'll be back in a second. Yeah. Where were we at? We were at the nutritional intake.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I'd like to hear how it works with the boys here at that level with nutrition and how they eat and how they fuel themselves.
Well, I don't go a lot into nutrition with them. We get a nutritionist, dietitian come in, and she's due in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely give advice based on my experience and my learning so far to this point. And it does help them a fair bit, but we do get a professional to come in to do that side of things. I think, as we know, everyone's made up differently, completely individualized, so we want the boys to figure out for themselves as well as learn from us what's going to work best for them. Because as I tell my clients, as well as the guys, is no one knows your body better than you do. Exactly. Doesn't matter how many years, how many degrees, PhDs they've got, they still don't know your body better than you do. Yeah. So I think they really need to learn. That's how I coach them, is learn to listen to your body. If it's asking for this, you got to give it this. It may not be right, but give it to them and see what happens. Yeah. So I know, as I said, it's not nutritionally perfect, but Sobi loves to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and white bread before games. Wholemeal bread. I use wholemeal bread before games. Now,
I think you're just throwing him in the fire there.
He loves it, and he's a great player. So
fair enough.
who are we to say you're doing the wrong thing?
Is there a correlation there? Right?
There could be a correlation. Maybe PB and J on wholemeal is the key to success.
It's the key to success.
Who knows?
Anyway.
But that's Sobi.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, if I said to who's a really good eater, TZ's really good, DJ's really good. If I said, okay, that's yours, they'd be like, it's not going to work for me so much. Yeah. And it could even be this whole placebo thing as well.
Of course.
But either way, it works. It works regardless. So Sobi does that pre-game for a pre-game meal. When we're away, I organise fresh vegetables, lean meats pre-game, and clean carbohydrates. Yep. So it might be some potato, it might be some sweet potato, brown rice, or rice. And that's what they have. That's what will be there for them. And then, of course, on the side, there's PB&J, there's breads, there's all the other stuff. There's fresh fruit that other players like to eat. And it's because they have been around for long enough now to know what works for them. Yeah, of course. And I'm happy to let them go. If they start to then struggle in games, they're coming to me saying, Murph, I'm feeling tired. I get to half time, 3/4 time, and I'm wrecked. What's going on? Okay, now let's look at your diet. Let's go more back to the science-proven stuff where those guys with the PhDs and masters and whatever else have designed this because it works scientifically. Yep. Let's look back at that now. Let's see if we can find that happy medium between what you like and then what is proven to work in the lab.
Hence Sobi's wholemeal bread.
I think that's just maybe. I don't know.
So you do get. I like this one. I'm like throwing you off a couple times.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah. So you're very much in intuitive eating.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. I've been seeing a few things come up on I like social media. And I've actually taken a bit of a break off the media. I don't know if you noticed that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Stop posting?
No, I post it every now and again. Well, I've started posting more long format.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Partly due to
scroll 3 times.
You got to keep scrolling. You got to keep going. You can't stop. There's more story, right? And I was just talking about this with Kate downstairs when you headed off. But I've gone more to long form format, and I figure if I do one more long form format once every couple of days, I can provide a bit more value, a bit more insight into kind of what got me to where I am, and not even what got me in regards to not the moves you made, but the mindset around this actually happened to me. Here's what that tells me, and provide some value to people rather than just posting photo, emoji, and whatever it might be. You know what I mean? And this directly came from some podcasts I was listening to when I was away about Instagram, and I hope this can help someone. Like, Instagram is actually now moving towards, well, has always been for I don't think about it, but it's the mindset shift in regards to more of a blog format. You know, where you've got a picture, then you can put info to that, and those that put the value in, people get value out of that. So I've kind of moved to that, and then actually stop posting on the stories and whatnot. But I'm still on there, so scroll and stuff. And so on these coaches' stories or videos and whatnot, they're shaming their athletes. They've got like college coaches shaming the athletes in the food hall what they're eating. Not shaming, like just taking the piss, right? Taking the piss. Don't shame your athletes if you're a coach that doesn't work.
It's not a great way to motivate.
Not a great way to motivate or get anywhere in life. Anyway, he's showing photos of, at lunchtime or after the session, just like hot dogs and chips and what I would call typical American food.
Yeah.
Okay. And from that, like, yes, you're going to see that. And that might be that dude's one meal for the entire week like that, and he's clean the whole rest of the time. But in saying that, it may not be. It most likely isn't if it's in a food hall. And so when you start to look at nutritional intake and how you, I would say like a provider or dictator, or the advice you provide in general, I've really swung towards more the intuitive way fairly recently, last 3 years. I used to do a lot of seminars on food and a lot of presentations and providing just, quality nutrients gives you quality response.
Yep.
Whereas now if people ask me, I kind of say, well, there are these options, there are these ideas around what can work for people, but every study that comes out, every book that comes out, anything that comes out is tailored to a certain cohort.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing is, this has worked for me, now you do it.
Exactly.
But it's like that, what's that saying, someone's medicine, another person's poison.
Pain and pleasure?
No, not quite.
Maybe
it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So whatever works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that's where the nutrition industry, the food industry or the diet industry is so wrong.
Yep.
Saying like, everyone should be doing this. Mm-hmm. Well, no, only that section of people should be doing this. Mm-hmm. This section should do this. This section should do this. This section should do this. Yeah. Because, as I said before, everyone's different. No one's the same as anyone else. Mm-hmm. You might be similar, so you get over the same sort of foods, but you're still not the same.
And even in regards to thinking about how you think about structuring how you're eating. So I like to think intuitive is flexible and tailored towards a person when you're having that chat, that athlete or that group. Whereas, some people I need to have like this type of setup. So I have clients of mine who I want to know how many grams of chicken I eat, right? And yes, you can provide an idea.
Yeah.
But people are different. Some people need that rigidity. Some people want complete. Just give me 3 food groups and I'll mix and match the other one.
Yeah.
And you get everything in between.
Yeah.
And so
that's how I like to program nutrition.
Yeah.
Because now
here's
you get to choose.
Or a color.
Yeah.
A color for vegetables. Don't be going like red fish or whatever.
Yeah.
But like programming that way, I'm very like high, like open, creative.
Yeah.
And so I tend to program the same. Colors or groups, ideally, or you get good groups and you get your not so good groups. And programming that way, so then people can then choose, which I have found, and obviously what you're saying is that the intuitive way of eating is
listen to your body.
Listen to your body.
Yeah.
I think the question that I tend to get from that is when I start to discuss it with people as well is, how do I do that? I don't know how my body responds when I have McDonald's and when I have a steak. Well, your body will tell you, because it's a physical being, it's input output. Okay?
I use this as an analogy, and it sort of works the same way. It works exactly the same way as right now you're sitting in a seat and you start to feel your lower back get tight or start to ache, and that's your body telling you you're not sitting the right way.
Yep.
But we're in tune with that. We go, oh, that's sore.
At that point in time,
I'm going to change, and now I feel better.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as with your body nutritionally. Mm-hmm. You'll eat something and you feel bloated. That's the sore lower back from before.
Yes.
Bloating is the body's way of saying, I didn't like that meal.
It's a negative symptom.
It might be too much food, it might be the incorrect foods,
Mm-hmm.
it might be just straight up junk food. Mm-hmm. It's something your body's screaming at you saying, don't do that to me again. Yeah. Now, you're probably going to do it to it again. Of course. Whether it's a few beers, a pizza, whatever, because we are humans, we like to do that. Okay? And I never tell anyone, don't eat junk food.
Yeah.
I say junk food is not good for you. Now you make your own decisions.
Exactly.
But your body is always saying something to you: low energy, short energy ranges, bloating, hunger,
mood swings.
So he's looking at someone right there. So there's all these different ways your body's saying. Most of your athletes.
Yeah.
All these different ways your body's trying to talk to you and tell you that yes, this is good. No, this is not good.
Yep.
And I think that's how I try and coach my clients and my fellas downstairs is by saying, how did you feel directly after your meal? Like as soon as you finish your food, how do you feel? I'm still hungry. There's something missing in that meal.
Happening.
Then measure an hour later, how do you feel? I'm starving now. Okay, there was something missing in that meal. I'm perfectly fine. Good, we're sweet there. But I'm bloated. Okay, something's going.
Happening.
You had something you shouldn't have eaten then.
I think people get I'd say awestruck. Not even awestruck. Overwhelmed with the amount of things that could happen to you.
Yeah, true.
So you're bloating, your energy, your time periods of energy. People don't tend to know in general. If you're not aware of your body, you don't tend to know. Oh, that energy period lasted 10 minutes, and now that one lasted an hour. I'm struggling now. You don't really associate that. But the way I think about it is, there's only 4 or 5 main things that will indicate some food wasn't good for you, right? So you're looking at your energy losses. So you may feel tired or lethargic after a meal.
Correct.
Bloating.
Yes.
Any type of extreme results, like if you're getting any type of itchiness or like skin issues, allergies, that kind of stuff. And what's the last one? Mood. I said before, yeah. And so these are things that the main 4, and anything that kind of falls under those umbrellas, you will be able to know. Oh, okay, I have my tummy grumbling, or I've now got wind, or if I have very, very sweet stuff. So we're talking desserts or chocolates or anything like that, which I stay away from as much as possible. If I have that, I'm in the toilet within half an hour. And I know my body does not respond to that positively because that is not a positive response.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's pretty simple. We know what's good for us.
Yeah.
We know that we look at a bowl of vegetables and a bowl of chocolate. We know that the vegetables is the better option.
Yes.
And that's actually your body telling you something.
Yeah.
Like it might be your brain and common sense coming into it, but your body will naturally go, that's healthier. That's not as healthy.
Innately, before you close it out.
Yeah. I'm not going to listen to that. I think that's where we need to understand a little bit more as well, is we naturally know what's good. So don't try and overcomplicate everything by, but what's the calorie intake and how long does the energy last and what's naturally, attractive to you, what should you naturally go for a healthy option. Yeah,
and last night, in that regard, I was talking to one of my clients, and she came in, and we have a bit of a banter about her food intake. When she loves biscuits and breads and whatever, loves that stuff. But I changed. So going back to what I was talking about before, in weekly regard, I said to her, "How's your eating been?" I was leading her down a bit of a path. How's your eating been? It's been okay. I said, what does okay mean? It's been good. It's been good, but it's been a bit up and down. I said, okay. Over the last week, how many times have you had food? And this I didn't tell her. Make the choice. But how many times have you had food which would lead to body fat reductions? If you ate it. And she was like, oh.
Is this her goal?
Her goal is to drop some body fat. Nice. Yeah. Not a whole bunch.
That's the question.
So how many times have you had food that will lead to body fat reductions in the last week? And she was like, oh, I just thought about it. Oh, maybe 4 times. I said, over the week? And she goes, yeah. So I said, okay, so to clarify, 3 meals a day, so 21 meals, maybe 4 of those meals or times in that you've had food that will lead to body fat reduction. And she's like, yeah. All right, so this is a twofold question. It gives me an idea of where her energy might be and her conscious awareness of her food, but it also then allows me to go, okay, cool, in further questioning, what you said before, about innately knowing what foods are good or bad for you. Or don't say good or bad, but what foods are going to lead to her goal. Her goal is body fat reduction. If it was a different client who wanted to gain some mass, I would have said, how many times in a week have you had food that are not going to contribute to your mass gaining? And so it gets them thinking just on a different stage.
Yeah.
And a week is a really easy block to go with. Like if I said to you, you're a bit different because you would know your food intake, but yesterday, how many times of all your food yesterday would lead you to contribute to this? Yesterday I don't know, but in general over the week I might be able to know when I can pick that up. So it's just a different way, just a line of questioning, but leading to a similar outcome and guiding the clientele and the athletes to think about their food in a different way and to think about the energy intake. The reason you want them to think about the energy intake in a different way is because you want a response.
Yeah.
Whether it's a winning basketball game, whether it's body fat reduction, whether it's any type of gaining or loss or whatnot, whatever that may be, you definitely want to have that. But in order to do that as a coach, and this goes into Brett Bartholomew stuff as well, but conscious coaching is that you're not just telling people what to do, like barking orders and they copy it. You're actually trying to get a relationship to be able to help them then empower themselves when they're away from you to make good decisions. I was going to say the right decisions, but make good decisions in regards to their training and output and outcome.
I think you used a really good word there was guide.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be telling our clients what to do because they're not going to learn anything.
No.
You guide your clients to it and say, these are the options you have. These are the better options. These are the not so good options.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things you should be looking for. Now start making your own choices.
Yeah.
Start figuring out for yourself based on some basic information. Like we got in your hand there. What does it say again? Basic, well, fundamental.
Basics, well, fundamental. Basics, well, fundamental. Remember the hand.
You understand that in nutrition.
Yeah.
You get the nutrition side of that. So that's not only exercise.
No.
That's everything to do with, almost everything.
Life in general.
Life, yeah. If you can do the basics well and the fundament well.
Fundament well. I like that.
Then everything's going to become a lot easier, and you can sort of figure out your own individual path on how to make it successful for you.
It's a constant progression, and then you just tailor. Like when we started, basics going into the specifics.
Yep.
Start with the basics of whatever they may be, and then you tailor it. You adjust. There's nothing that's going to be the same all the time. From week to week or from month to month, things might change.
And as you get older, things are going to change.
Yeah, and as you get older, things can change. It's that. So yeah, exactly. And I think that's a fundamental key from chapter. I think we've had a fire talk today.
We have. We've done well. And it's in a
fire.
good time slot.
Really good time. I think
that's a drive to work.
It's a drive to work, and we're going to get some food, and we'll be back another Murph Mitise show next week. Not sure we're going to have an interview or whatnot, but there'll be something up.
There'll be something going on.
Stay tuned, guys. And if you've got friends, get them to hit the subscribe button as well. We're trying to push that in the background. We want to try and get some people to see what we're saying.
Let's spread the word.
Spread the word, and I'm going to hit back my black notepad and make some notes.
You get that notepad out. That's terrible.
Yes!
Good stuff.
See you then.